Hi guys, welcome back, and we're now going to look at lick 5, 6 and 7, okay? So we kick off with the quintessential Stevie Ray Vaughan lick, which is this. It's like, why is that so Stevie Ray Vaughan? And I'll tell you why. It's because it uses this out note, which is very uncommon. You wouldn't really see any other player use it apart from Stevie Ray Vaughan. So it's extremely unique to him. So basically what we're doing here is we're combining the pentatonic shape 1 in E minor with the pentatonic shape 2 in E major. That's your standard kind of blues thing to do. So that's very common. And we're also adding this out note here, this 13th fret on the E string. And an out note basically just means a note that's outside of the scale that you use kind of in a chromatic or just a very bypassing way. So we touch on it, we use it very quickly, but immediately resolve it back to a note that's very strong. Okay? And that's how you generally use out notes. So as an example, if I just took my minor pentatonic scale, and let's just say, for example, that I use this out note here, okay? As long as I use it very quickly, so here's my pentatonic. Basically, you hear I used it there, and it's outside the scale, it doesn't count, it's not the right note, but because I just used it very quickly and didn't hang about on it and resolved to something strong like an E in E, you know, it very much just adds a bit of flavour, a bit of style, a bit of panache to the actual lick, to the riff, to whatever you're doing, okay? So out notes are really usable. You can just use any note outside of the scale. Just be sure to actually resolve it quickly, okay? So this lick, we're going to see that, because the lick goes like this. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the 14th fret and I'm bending up a tone, okay? Or a semitone. To be honest, whichever one, it's absolutely fine. But tone, semitone, whichever you prefer the sound of. And then I'm going to go up to the 12th fret, and then the 12th fret again. Okay, so we do that classic blues thing. Okay, then I'm going to come back down to the 15th fret, and I'm going to pull off to the 12. This is on the B string. Okay, then I'm going to grab the 14th fret on the E string. That's a major pentatonic note. Think of your major pentatonic shape 2. Remember, try and attribute it every time. Okay, so we've got... Okay, then I'm going to come back to the E and hammer on and pull off from this out note. Okay, on the 13th fret. Quick hammer on and pull off. So you got... Okay, then I'm going to come back to the 15th fret. Then the 12th fret on the E string, B string, E string. Okay, so all together, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, without the count. Okay, so this little hammer on and pull off is deliberately quicker than the rest of the notes. Okay, so be sure to get that lick nailed. That's your first task. Now, the next lick, okay, lick number 6, is when we're going to kind of move in a classic SRV fashion from shape 1 to shape 1, but the octave down to the octave. And the way we're going to do it is going to cause you probably a headache or two, because it's a really kind of tricky thing to get at this stage, but it will gradually kind of put itself together. But imagine we've just left this last riff like this. This is our 6th lick, okay? So what we basically start with is we're going to slide from the blues note back to the 14th fret, so on the G string, then we're going to pull off to the 12, and before you even have a chance to hear this note, you're going to slide that back quickly to the 2nd fret of the G string. So we get this. Again. Okay, so just listen to how quick that slide goes down. Okay, when I get here, I'm going to pull off. Then I'm going to come back to my 2nd fret of the E string and then hammer on that major third again, just like we did in the opening lick. and then the open E string at the top. Okay, so it sounds like this. Again. So I tell you what, until you've kind of got the rest of the solo together, that is a very tricky thing to just sit and learn. So the main thing I'd practice is just this semitone slide, pull off, and then just practice quickly jumping to there. What you've got to do there when you're sliding so far across the guitar is don't watch your finger slide, just target your eyes at the note it needs to slide to. Okay, so that's why I'm looking right here. I'm not looking like that as I go down it. I'm staring at the note it needs to get to, and I'm making it land there. Okay, so therefore we've got this, and then pull off, second fret, hammer onto the major third, and then open E. Now, next lick is a simple move to the B7. So next lick sounds like this. Now, I'm not going to go into much detail here because basically when you're on the B7 chord, you can do whatever you want. You can strum it, or you can just hit it once, or you can pick through a couple of notes. Don't get too specific. Don't get too bogged down in the tab at this point. Just play the chord. Okay, it's one bar of B7. It's just the lead up to the B7 that I really like. So we go from the 3rd fret of the E string, open, 1st fret A string, and then when I hit the 2nd fret of the A string, I'm going to put the B7 chord on. B7 open chord, so I've got my 2nd finger on the root, 1st finger on the major 3rd, 3rd finger on the dominant 7th. I've got an open B string, which is a 5th, which is the root obviously, and then the 5th on top, on the 2nd fret. So the lead up, and then whatever you want to do in that bar's worth of time. Okay, so let's just put those three together again over a nice drum beat. So we're here at the marvelous, wonderful looping station, and it goes something like this: 1, 2, 3. So the quintessential Stevie lick first. And there we have it. Okay, so as you can hear, it's definitely the most fiddly of all the licks to get together at a slow pace. So just make sure that you've got the quintessential Stevie one, and you've got that lead up to the B7, and the bit in the middle we're going to kind of work on getting together in terms of the whole thing. So get that together, guys, and next time we'll do the final licks and put it all together.